Now We Can Freak It. It's funny that I'm talking about this because We Can Freak It was really Trey Dee's record.
What?
Before, and this is how this happened. You know, Trey Dee was a fan of my work, and I've been seeing him quite a few times through my career, through Pool, through C-Style, and this was Snoop Dogg and different
And this
events.
is before G'd Up?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We Can Freak It is before G'd Up.
Right.
We Can Freak It is the record that made everybody want to gravitate to me, you know, from New York to the Bay to LA. You know, when I say that, because I ended up working with Raphael Sadiq, I ended up working with and out of the Bay as well with E40, and then as far as New York, Faith Evans wanted to work with me because she loved the street West Coast funk sound, but then I brought R&B melodies and progression in my funk.
Right.
Anyone R&B could have sung that record. Both records, G'd Up and We Can Freak It.
Right.
So, like I said, to make it short, the record was originally for him.
Okay.
But when Kurupt came back, he had a new record deal, and he had was just recovering fresh from getting off of death row and finding him some investors that felt strongly about his career. And he came back. When he came back from Philly, he said, "Cat, you know, you was the first one that's been down with me on this production, along with another gentleman named Tone Tobin, not Black Tobin, but Tone Tobin from my neighborhood." Tone Tobin wrote Stranded on Death Row for Kurupt. So we all kept this crazy, unique relationship within our community until we found a way to coexist with him, because we didn't want to really function with Death Row like that. And seeing the rise and the fall of it, you know, it was kind of a blessing in the disguise for Kurupt to find another home to be a great artist and the MC that he, you know, was already in the mix with. You know, we was glad that he found another way out. So when he came back and got me, he came to the studio. He actually heard the track.
Right.
I made some other arrangements because he's melody driven too. He liked R&B as well, and a lot of people didn't know that. Before he got to Death Row, he was in love with R&B songs. Okay. So by hearing these melodies, I had a cool relationship with a gentleman named Black Tobin out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He brung Andre Wilson, Casey Wilson, and Brian Wilson, which are the sons of one of the members from Gap Band, which is Ronnie Wilson, the oldest brother of Charlie Wilson. He had 3 sons, and he brought them to the studio, and they actually was in the makings of it and wrote melodies and hooks. The youngest brother, Casey Wilson, went to his older brother, which is Andre Wilson, and said, "Big bro, sing this." And they sung the hook, not over the microphone, just among each other. And I'm watching them. Kurupt is watching them too. Right. And they start screaming and running out the building every which way because they knew they had some tight shit that was going to touch us. So we said, let us hear what it is. I said, better yet, go in the booth. So they went in the booth, and I hadn't even made the strings and the hook yet. It was just the music, just the basic beat looping. Right. And he went in there and sung the melody, and it was a perfect concept and idea and melody, excuse me, and the melody for Kurupt to write his subject. So he asked him, what about We Can Freak It? Freak if you want to, dine if you want to, communicate and you know that we can freak it. Freak if you want to. Not understanding how intelligent Kurupt was in school and topics, how to write like that in poetry. Right. What he did was write the song about not freaking. I'm thinking it's going to be about a girl, and it's not. We Can Freak It is about taking a negative situation into a positive. So I guess the saying for him, he must have learned that from an older crowd or family. We're going to take the situation and freak it. Let's freak this negative situation. So in the first verse, you can hear him talking about getting along, telling you to relax, telling you that I'm an OG. Battlecat is in the sack with the young OGs, why, you know. You know, it was just unique. And then how he broke down the second verse, he talked about jealousy. Y'all mad as shit because I got this girl. At this time, he was with Fox. So I'm not knowing he really penning his life. Ain't nothing fiction in the whole song.
Yeah.
So it really stick. It was like him writing his life before the world. And that's what I'm talking about. Someone who took the time out to do that and marinate with it, it was just a masterpiece. And then we took the record to New York, to the legendary studio where Teddy Pendergrass and all them cats performed, and Gamble and Huff and them, and that whole Philly sound. He took me to that studio to finish that record. So that was my first time introducing that record to New York. We went to the Freaknik in New York. So I got a chance to meet Jay-Z, Foxy, and all of them, and they loved the record. They just wasn't ready to embrace West Coast, but they loved the record. I was glad that that record won them over and introduced me from Cali to New York and Philly.
Okay, so in that studio session, when you're with Kurupt and he hears the beat, is he like, nah, I gotta have that beat, man. Let me get that. I know you got other plans for it, but let your boy get that. And
well, I didn't tell him because it was just, to me, I'm giving y'all the jewel on the inside that I knew it was for Trey Deee. Even Trey Deee didn't know it. He was surprised. It ain't like I told Trey Deee and then had to.
It was like your tentative plan to give it.
My tentative plan to bless him, because him being a G, he was older than Snoop, and his conversation and just his whole persona and attitude. I always liked someone who was very poetic with their gangsterism, because I could tell he had more to say that wasn't gonna be just killer, and I'm gonna fuck your bitch, you know, or whatever. If I can curse, I don't know, you know. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, we're working. I'll say less profanities so you don't have to do less
editing. I appreciate it for sure.
So other than that, that's what it was.
Okay, let me hit up the chat room real quick because I got a lot of questions and we just been chopping it up. But let's hit up some of these. So one of the first questions somebody asked me was, would you work with Freddie Gibbs? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know who Freddie Gibbs is.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really know him, and I got to see what kind of stand-up guy he is. He's very talented. But to me, it's a chemistry. There's a lot of people that when you don't know, they are successful in the lane of making music, but then it might not gel personally. And that's one thing I learned studying under Dre, DJ Pooh, Bobcat, and so and so, you know, even with Greg Mack through radio, you know, you really gotta spend some time to see who's who. I'm not gonna just hook up because you do what you do and you like what I do. I gotta see what we have in common that we can do bigger than the expectation of what we do separately. Just to come together, that means it's going to be something different that they never heard before. What is the purpose? Is it a movement? But he's very talented. He could go. I definitely put my ears to the streets with him. So if the opportunity permits for us to connect, I'm open. I ain't closed minded about it.
Okay, for sure. I appreciate that. All right. Somebody else co-signed what I said. They said, where's it at? They said, G'd Up is one of their favorite songs. And then they said, where's it at? Shit. And then they say, what's the other song? All right, so this is somebody else. They say, okay, here's the comment I was talking about. On Me by Booyah Tribe, I guess. On Me. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know the record. This one's for me, or it's on me. I know what he's talking about with Kurupt, and I think Dub C is on that record as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was a dope record. That's my family. I love them. I'm glad they got at me to produce. At least I want to say 90% of the album was me. I think Eminem did one. Eminem did one, and someone else did one. But I did at least 90% of that record. So big shout out to the Booyah Tribe family.